Tell me now, how do I live without you? I want to know. How will I breathe without you? Since you're gonna go, how will we ever survive? How will I breathe? Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the XRP Community Update. And me singing over here. I'm sad. Hodor is leaving us. I don't know if you guys caught the news this weekend. He put it out on a weekend, so that's one way to just sort of slide under the radar so nobody knows. But yes, that's where we're starting this morning on the XRP Community Update. Good morning, everybody. My name is Sincerely George. Welcome to the XRP Community Update. And we get started with what I deem to be the top story, breaking news over the weekend. Actually, there's other breaking news. Nate obviously cares about you guys. He reached out and told me that my mouse, I needed to fix the whole mouse situation, that every time I slammed it on my desk, it caused him ear problems. His ears were bleeding. So we fixed that. I fixed that. Thank you so much for that advice, Nate. But honestly, we do have breaking news because Hodor, who has been a blogger in this space for coming on 2 years, I think, is stepping down as lead news hawker or information sharer. He put out a tweet and, it really hit the airwaves when Livestream then tweeted it out to the community on Saturday. And it just says, "This is goodbye, thank you, and welcome at the same time, Hodor. Hodor has been an inspiration to us all, sharing your vision, insight, news, and an amazing writer, is beloved community member, and you will still be in the future as a developer." And so this cessation of the Hodor blog is actually a Coil post that he made, just talking about walking away from his responsibilities as an avatar, as a blogger who is not using his real name, and talking about the XRP community. He's feeling called to do more development work in the XRP community. He's been asked to attend conferences and participate in real stuff in the real world. And the only way that people know him is as Hodor. So he is stepping down from responsibilities as blogging under the pseudonym of Hodor and is stepping out into the community using his real name and face. I was like, oh my goodness, are you calling us all to the carpet here, Hodor? Like, what are you doing to us? I have to go out there and use my real name and face. Oh, okay, this is my face. This is my real face. I don't paint it. I paint it on sort of in the morning, but you know what I mean. So, and he says right in the introduction to this blog, and I quote, "Before I launch into a long goodbye," which he did, which was awesome. It made me understand what he's saying, but that was a break in the quote. But continuing with the quote, "I want to assure everyone of a few things. I am not leaving the XRP community. I will be contributing using my real identity. I plan on creating websites and applications. The XRP community has never been more active. The XRP ledger has never been more robust. Ripple has never been stronger." So those are his entry into this discussion. And there's this part in the blog that really speaks to me, speaks to what we are doing in the community in trying to raise XRP for the XRP Community Fund, the different university blockchain, university blockchain research initiative, and other things that are going on. I don't know if you guys know how important I think those things are, but if you don't, here's another plug for it. And I quote again from Hodor's blog, "True leaders are needed, not anonymous avatars. First of all, if members of the XRP community choose to use anonymous avatars for temporary reasons or to separate their important contributions from their ordinary professional life, I totally understand. Even though it's almost impossible to stay completely anonymous online, use of proxy avatars for identity can be convenient and even serve legitimate purposes. However, if you plan on pushing for change or leading in a certain direction, it's important for others in the community to understand who you are and to trust your motivations. My use of an anonymous avatar for blogging was supposed to be a temporary 6-month sideline gig." I started blogging in 2017, and because of the response from the community of developers and other members in the XRP community, I decided to continue writing for a longer period of time. So this is a great blog post. He really talks about where he plans on going with, his ongoing commitment into the community. And in some, direct messages online while I was crying, and people were trying to pick me up off the floor and, handing me tissues, I was like, I don't know if we'll know who he is. I'm really, really sad. I'm really sad. I don't know if Hodor realizes how sad I am that he's leaving. I seldom commented on his blog posts. And if commenting on his blog post would bring him back, I'll go and comment on everyone. I'll go find them all and comment on them all. But I'm sad. And I really do. I'm personally worried about him leaving the community because I believe his absence is going to create a vacuum. A lack of, concise, long-winded information. Like, look at this. This is a goodbye. This is a Dear John letter to the XRP community, and it is a scrolling text. It's lots of information. And this is what every one of his posts is like. So I'm hoping that his blog will not go away because, I know that the amount of work that it took him to create them was hours and hours and hours. But he's leaving because he's going to do something that potentially will be more profitable, monetarily. And he's, going back to doing what he does in his everyday career. And that's one of my fears, is the fact that we have developers in this space, developers, data analysts, engineers, writers, others that are contributing stuff, YouTubers, everybody, news hawkers, right? There's different levels of commitment to the community that exist out there. And I'm talking about all of them. But if we don't stand up and appreciate the work that they're doing, the good work that they're doing, there's a chance that they'll go somewhere else. And maybe that'll be to the Litecoin community. Yeah, we would be very sad for them. But Hodor's staying with us. So without further ado, let me move on. Yes, Papa Bear, I know he's coming back with his real name, but I'm still sad. I'm still really, really sad. And I want to know who he is. And he might not tell us who he is. And that's my fear, is that we won't know who he is. He'll be watching from the sidelines and we won't be able to go and cry, Hodor, help us. And, one of the things that is also in this blog post that he wrote is that, using the avatar allowed him to speak what I'll call more brashly, to not be as politically correct. I'll use those air quotes, not even saying that he wasn't politically correct. But as he steps into, his full embodiment of himself, his reputation, his word, and who he wants to be recognized and as a respectable person in the community, he will need to tone down potentially some of the things he said. I've never seen him say anything rash or, off the chain, but, I do understand what he's saying. And, yeah, it's big news. So because I think this is really important, and because maybe he'll listen to this and understand how many people in the community will miss him, and he may choose to come back. I doubt it. But, let me go to the comments and say hello to everybody who's here. Read out your goodbyes to him so that I can tag him and let him know that we all miss him already. So anyways, first to the house today was Silhouette Park Farms, followed by RTV Duchy. Tina Hall, wonderful to have you here. The beautiful Danny Torres, who I got to see in person yesterday. Yay, it was the best day ever. Pre-Pro Talk was also in the house. Wonderful to have you here. David D, Lionel, Patricia C, and me. Oh, and XRP Angel Connie, and the Crypto Camper. Good morning, everybody. And I think I'm at the bottom. Oh, I'm not. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's going on. We also got Papa Bear, XRP, Ferdy, Z-Bits, and anybody else. Oh, Ferdy and Pre-Pro Talk, and Tina, awesome to have you here. I don't anime so I'm sorry. Oh, shush up, Lionel. I'm not saying that out loud. Don't be a jerk. Be nice. You cannot fill his shoes, Lionel, so don't even try. Don't be jealous. All right, so moving on. I spent a lot of time on that, but you guys heard me starting the video maybe with some singing. So the XRP Zoo is going to be having their birthday bash. I believe it's on the 26th of October. I was asking about that. So the 26th of October, they're going to be having their birthday bash. And for people who are avid, cheerleaders for the XRP Zoo, I believe there's a call out there asking people to maybe sing and to participate in the XRP Zoo. So if you're interested in being part of the intro or what's going on the XRP Zoo during their birthday bash, definitely reach out to the XRP Zoo. Let them know that you're interested. And I quote here, the deadline to be part of the XRP Zoo birthday bash video is next Friday. So that's the Friday coming up. If you want to be part of this, please inbox us immediately. We would love as many XRP community members as possible to be part of this historic video. The concept is beautiful. So I'm expecting a lot of these guys. I know they're working behind the scenes to make this a reality. So definitely inbox them. And their Twitter handle is, I'll share that over here in the chat. There you go. Yes, Patricia over here in the chat says, yesterday late afternoon, I did my usual thing, picked up my phone and searched for Hodor's blog to read. I told you I would do that for weeks. Force of habit. It totally is. There's some people on Twitter who just stand out. And it's interesting that he chose yesterday as the day to decide to walk away from his responsibilities, because we did the ballots for the XRP Community Choice Awards, and he already won in the first round. It's like, wow. So it'll be really interesting to see how the community responds to that, and whether or not he will be crowned master blogger for our community, even though he has stepped down. So let's continue on here. So here's something that, made me really excited this weekend. And this again came out on Saturday. So Craig DeWitt, who works at Ripple, says, and I quote here, now that the Spring XDK has launched, I'm working on an XRPL side project. Tell us more. Any musicians or podcasts interested in selling their stuff for XRP direct to their address? I'm thinking about building a site that allows MP4 downloads for direct XRP donations to the creator. So this stands to be a potentially disruptive technology for people who are creating, music, and this would be, in my opinion, I'm not a musician or a podcaster, but this would be the opportunity for you to create your content, and instead of using Patreon or having it on YouTube, to actually get XRP streamed to you, sort of like what we have with Cinnamon Video, but instead in the podcasting community. Now, this, he's talking about in this stream, in this tweet, I don't even know what to call it. I guess I'm just out of sorts, but he's talking about here the whole idea and what he's planning, what his idea is and how he wants to build it out, and lots of great commentary from people in the community on it. One of the tweets that really stood out to me is that this would be more of a proof of concept for software capable of selling digital assets for digital assets. XRP is best for that, so we'll start there. I think I'll open source the software so you can do anything you want with it. So by open sourcing the software, it's sort of like the web monetization software that was created by the Interledger protocol team, is that they open sourced it, they made it available for the W3C, and then it was available for anybody else to include in their software. Now the Interledger protocol actually is using that as the foundation of their software, but you layer software on software, and that's the great thing about open source software, is that no longer are you required to build out the entire operating system. And the best example that I have of this is really a throwback to old mobile phones. You remember we had the Sony Ericsson, we had the Sony phone, and then we had the Sony Ericsson, and then we had RIM, with the BlackBerry, we had Nokia, and the list goes on, and each of them had a different operating system. Each of them had a different UI. Well, excuse me, transition forward to where we are now with the iPhone and Android, those are two operating systems. Either you build your application for the iOS platform or you build it for Android. No longer do these companies need to build out the operating system for the phone. All of that is managed. All of it is handled with, very solid software, and updates are coming for the OS, and all that anybody has to do is build in the enhancements that are needed for their software. And so when we start talking about open source software, which the Android operating system is, it removes a large amount of the barrier for creating amazing software. And there's tons and tons of different open source packages out there, whether they be created by large firms, small firms, or independent developers that are like, yeah, I just created this so that it does XYZ and makes things run faster. And somebody doing that, and it could be, you know, a couple lines of code, somebody figured something out, to hundreds and hundreds or thousands of lines of code, but it simplifies the work of a developer. And, you know, depending on what you're building, you can, something that might have taken you months in the past to build, you may be able to build in a weekend. So, you know, I highlight this tweet because if his idea for enabling streaming payments for, you know, MP4s or, you know, sound is actually put out there as open source, then, you know, it really could be disruptive in a lot of different areas. Sort of like Coil has been disruptive for video and Cinnamon being out there. So let's move on. I'm sure some people have fallen asleep going, I don't care. So let's go back to video. Video, you know, stimulation for your eyes. So I don't know if you guys realized this weekend, but actually Notorious, something went wrong with the Notorious XRP account. And if you try to go to the old Notorious account, you find that it's actually going to a spammer, and Twitter is actually was trying to send me there yesterday. Notorious, if I can spell. I'm horrible at spelling XRP, right? So it wants to send you to this account here. And this is not the Notorious XRP. You need to go and subscribe to the new Notorious account. They had some problems, and during the outage, as I'll call it, somebody else was able to claim this name. And so, you know, when I look at it, I don't see anything wrong with this name, but if you go to this old account, you see that it has 21 followers, it has 3 followers, and it's following 21 people, the minimum amount that to sort of launch an account. And this is not Notorious. And we can start right here with the Russian right there on their retweet. So we have some problems here. This is not Notorious's account. You need to be actually going to Notorious XRP, and please follow them. They, you know, in this situation that happened, and I'm not sure if their account got hacked or whatever, but this is the real account. I'm sharing it now in the tweet in the comments. So please follow the real Notorious XRP account so that you make sure that you get updates and everything is going well. Report it and block it. Yes, report it and block it. But at the same time, I don't even know if the Wietse Wind one that we've been reporting and blocking is gone. Oh, I hate that. Let's go. You know, I don't know why Twitter decides that what news I need to actually be shown. But let's move on. Let's not gripe about, it's Monday. Let's not get mad at Twitter first thing on Monday, right? Like, let's not do that. So Adam Kilpatrick sent this across. I actually saw this weekend, and I didn't see the article. I actually saw a video that was talking about this new Perth mint. So I quote here the tweet: for everyone who has been asking about gold-backed crypto in Australia, which I was like, have you seen this? What's up with this? Tell me. So I guess it really is a thing. Not only is there a news, a video of a news channel talking about it, but there is also an article. And so Gold Pass, gold trading app, securely buy, sell, and transfer physical gold via digital certificates with Gold Pass. So thank you so much for the link to this Silhouette Park Farms, aka Adam Kilpatrick, rockstar in the XRP community. So what is Gold Pass? At the touch of a screen, Gold Pass gives investors the unique ability to securely buy and sell physical gold via digital certificates. The app also allows the instantaneous transfer of gold to other Gold Pass users. So, you know, under the hood, they're doing it all with digital certificates, and it's actually, I believe it's tokenized. Like, I believe they are actually using blockchain under the hood based on the video that I was watching. But it says here, all Gold Pass digital certificates are 100% backed by physical Perth Mint gold stores in the central bank grade vaults. So, we definitely have, things that are being backed out there. And when I want to put on my conspiracy hat, it's just one more thing that's being done to move us more to a digitized value transfer and the transfer of value. So, thank you very much for sharing the article. It gives a little bit more credence to the video that I was seeing over the weekend. And talking about banks, let's go back over here and let's go and do a search. I hate this. I said that already. Yeah, no. I thought this was a pretty cool tweet from Lionel that came out. Let's see if we can find it. But the China bank collapse, he had me scared for a minute, and it's not showing up right away. I think it might be in his retweets, but there's a picture or a small video of of a building collapsed in China, and yeah, caught my attention, made me giggle. I love it when he makes me giggle. Always a good way to start the day. So of course I have a lot more out here. I always have far too many tabs open than time. But as the last one, before I go to the chat, and maybe I'll go to the chat and we'll talk about this, because this is a great place to end up, something to talk about, and sort of ties into what we have going on today. So who else has joined? So we have Tyson Bailey. Thank you. I live in Perth. Very lucky. I wish I lived in Perth. If you could just send some of that gold my way, that would be fantastic, Tyson. The Great Pate. What everybody's pointing up. The Great Pate. AJ is trying to outlate the Great Late. Okay, you guys are having too much fun. It makes me smile. SPO, welcome. I'm so happy you're here this morning. Beauty Bear Cutie, good to have you here. Always love to have the cute and beautiful ones. Lionel shares his tweet. Oh, does it get any better? Copy link address. Thank you so much, Lionel. Let's see. Yes, this is the one. Thank you. Like, look at this. We can mute this. Oh, we can't go to full screen because it totally goes crazy. But look at that building in the background. All these people are just, scootering by. But, the Bank of China has fallen down. It went all in on gold. It's a little bit too heavy, took out the foundation. So let's go back over here. So potential X rapid flow. So the Crypto Camper says, who wants to sing karaoke with me Wednesday night? No, I'm not singing karaoke. You missed the beginning of the video. I was singing at the beginning of the video. I have my own personal karaoke machine with this microphone. Where's this microphone? Yes. So potential X rapid flow. I thought this was an interesting graphic. We've been talking about, okay, what is the actual payments and value transfer? What's the volume of that's going on? And as stated up here, potential X rapid flow, sort of like saying alleged X rapid flow, or who knows X rapid flow. We don't know. We don't exactly know. But this chart shows a massive uptick since the middle of July in regards to potential transfer volume, and it's really big. I've been searching for a chart like this, but not searching super hard. Otherwise, I would have already have found it. And there's a lot of data that's out there in regards to the different volumes, but I want something that breaks out specifically the X rapid volume, and I'm not finding that. So hello, Calvin. You just finished watching the XRP dance video for the 1,000th time. You need to do a response video, my friend. A response video would be awesome, or go find somebody who will do a response video. So Calvin, I really appreciate you. I went out and stalked you this weekend on Twitter, and some of your responses to people are pretty funny, but you don't seem to respond like that to any of my stuff. So I'm very grateful. I get my feelings hurt sometimes, but yeah, you have a sense of humor, my friend. The digital nomad investor is saying good morning to Connie. Everybody should say good morning to Connie because she is amazing. And David D says, I submitted Sincerely George dance video to Dancing with the Stars as an audition tape. Wish her luck, everyone. So I don't know, David D, you probably didn't see this because you're not on Twitter. So great shout out to Tina Hall for her work on the instruction video for the song. We had actually been working behind the scenes, a small crew of us, on really working to get that out. It's the XRP Community Choice Awards theme song. And from that, it was like, let's do a dance. Let's do a dance. Let's be totally distracted and do something that, is just one more level of work in regards to trying to spread awareness about the XRP community and the great things that are going on here. And I reached out to Africa, India, and who else? And the Hispanic community this weekend with some Google translated tweets saying, hey, why don't you participate in this? Please get involved. And, I'm sure people are like, oh my goodness, what is this nutbag doing now? But the fact of the matter is that, XRB has the potential to impact everybody around the globe. The fact that the majority of investors come from places like America, Australia, and the EU doesn't erase the fact that XRP has the ability to bring, financial services to a large number of people who may not have access to a bank today, who may be trying to make things happen or be limited in their ability to actually be prosperous because of what services companies choose to offer in their area. And, through XRP, we have the ability to transfer value immediately. So this dance is really special to me. I tried to create it, and I take all blame if anybody wants to, get out there and say, oh, you're blah, blah, blahing this culture or another, because I'd love you to tell me what culture I am. Like, that would be fantastic. And I'm not doing no flipping DNA test, that's for darn sure. But, really trying to show a lot of respect for people all around the globe who are really into digital assets. So go out there and do the response video. If you guys notice, there was a poodle that did it first. They're proof positive that you can do it in a mask and nobody will know who it is. That's for sure. Yeah, that's what I say. Nobody knows who that was, I'm sure. The Crypto Camper says Tina did amazing work. She really did. And the video breaks it down so easy. So you know exactly which moves to be doing when. It was actually a harder dance. And Tina was like, I think this whole backflip thing that you're doing here, I don't think it's going to work. And, all right, change it up. She's awesome. So yes, if you see any of those videos, Ripple Red did one. And of course, some of the trolls had to come out and I was ready to go smack some people. And then I actually went and apologized because I want to be a nice person and challenged them. I created my own video and I was like, I'm sorry, but I challenge you. You are challenged. Smack down on that right now. Yep, that's my response. So I have a response video, so now I can go out and challenge them all. So Silhouette Park Farm says, so we're just passing time till we all win. We have time, so let's all have fun and make friends. That's exactly it. I really view it that way because, one of my greatest fears is that a lot of people are not going to get involved in this revolution and maybe left behind. And to that end, knowing people who have similar interests and have the wealth and abundance from the rise in value that will come is going to be awesome and great places to stay around the globe, people you can trust, and just really making friends. Don't wrench abuse, dude. I don't know who's doing wrench abuse, but you need to tell me and they will go on timeout. People have been put on timeout before. It happens all the time. I'm not reading that Calvin Knight, but thank you very much. I appreciate you too. You're making me blush. So, anything else? So please hit the subscribe and the like. If you're new here, I would love for you to be a subscriber. My channel is really focused on XRP community information, what's going on, and trying to help people connect. It'll probably transition after the event that we have in November into something different. I am supposed to be involved in the on the chain. I was about to say gang, but that just sounds horrible. I would never like to be in shackles. but you know, really looking at different things I can do, and I'd love to start doing more development, so a little bit more development centric work. And that's one of the things that doing this channel has really helped me realize is you know, how much I appreciate working with the developers. So let's see what else I found here. Oh, Libra Calibra is being sued. Yes, they are. I don't know if you guys saw this, but looks like Libra's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad week isn't over yet. In addition to major backers like PayPal, eBay, Stripe, Visa, and MasterCard dropping support for Facebook's cryptocurrency project, now it looks like the logo has become the center of a legal battle over alleged trademark infringement. So I don't know if you guys have seen this or heard about this, but it appears that Facebook utilized the same design company as this other company, Current, and they, you know, instead of really going out and getting really creative, they may have copied the logo. It looks exactly the same, but, you know, it's completely flatline, or it's a flat logo instead of having any defining lines. And so the design company, they both companies actually use the same design company for designing the logos. So the San Francisco-based design company called Character is also named as a defendant in this. So also another thing I want to draw attention to is the fact that the XRP meetup is going to be happening in Japan, and they've been putting out a lot of great art. And this is something that Crypto Erie is, you know, has talking quite a bit about. I believe she's attending, and this tweet today made me go and check out their site. I was like, oh, and look at how pretty that is. Like, I'm really impressed with the design that they've used for this website. It has a scroll over effect that works whether you're on your phone or on your PC. It seems to load very fast. And, you know, they have art. Somebody's been doing art for all of the different people that will be guests there. So we have Tiff Hayden, we have Nick, we have David Schwartz. Like, oh my goodness, I want David Schwartz to come to my meetup. Wow. Warren Paul Anderson from Ripple, Hannah from Ripple. I don't know who Hannah is, but that's awesome. So really cool little site. They are only allowing 300 people at their meetup. So again, I would love for David Schwartz to come to, David Schwartz to come to my meetup. But yeah, this is also really cool. They have sponsors for this. So we have SBI VC Trade, who is the main sponsor, and also BitTrue. So big thank you to BitTrue for ongoing support of different meetups that are going on in our community. You know, the ability, helping people to connect is really important. And there's some people who have, you know, the money to spend to help, you know, these different meetups find the space, or, you know, just advertise what they're trying to do, build out websites, whatever. And yeah, big thank you to SBI VC Trade and BitTrue for supporting this meetup so that people in our community can get together and learn more about the great innovation. And again, a reminder, if you have not gone and subscribed to Notorious XRP, there are issues with the original Notorious XRP account. If you're wondering about what those are, go back in the stream and listen to it. But this is the new address for Notorious on Twitter. And I will make it even easier, because I know how, if you guys are as lazy as I am on Monday, then, you know, a link is most valued. So I just included a link. Let's see what everybody else is saying over here. Hey, cutie bear. That's what Chris says. Hey, cutie bear, which is awesome. And lots of hellos. Everybody is happy to be back from the weekend. That's awesome. I know we're going to have a great week. The price is up. We're at 29 and change right now, which is fantastic. So, you know, the price is going up, and yeah, you know, good things going on. I'm interested in why the price is going up. I haven't had time to research that necessarily yet, but it's fantastic. So Crypto Camper says, I want David Schwartz to come to my barber. No. I don't think that's going to be happening. We love him just the way he is, and whatever barber he's currently using is fine. And you made me think about a tweet that Kickboy Triple sent out this morning, and I went and stalked that account, and I was like, yeah, whatever. So XRP Tony Stark also disappeared this weekend. I don't know if something happened to his account or what, but all of a sudden it was deleted, but it is fully back again. And I thought this was interesting because, as you guys know, we are now less than a month away from Swell. Swell is Ripple's big conference where they have an opportunity for them to meet with their partners and meet with their customers and just talk about innovations that are coming in the future, things that have happened in the past year, and just raw, sell. So I think that this year's Swell will focus a lot on the changes that they've made to their branding, the transition from, the transitions that they've had within the RippleNet, and I don't think that has changed. I think it's still RippleNet partners, but the change in their product lineup. So it used to be XRapid, XCurrent, and XVIA, and now they're focused on on-demand liquidity. So the names, as well as the transition to on-demand liquidity, ODL, speaks to continuity and, the flow of, capabilities between all three different products that they had before. So I think it'll be really interesting. And going forward, we'll talk a little bit more about Swell, about some of the conferences that are coming up over the next couple of months, because I think this is actually, there's two big conference seasons. There's between September and, middle of November, as companies are starting to close out their year, looking at companies to, the budgets of companies for the coming year and trying to convince them to put dollars towards a different potential area, right? And then you have conferences that are, that really start at the end of February and go until about June. And those are more like, hey, this is what we're launching, and more of a launch party. So I'm really excited about Swell and what we'll get out of Swell. So ever consider that Hodor and Tony Stark are the same? That would be fantastic, but I doubt it. Their character online is completely different. And I know it's possible that that could all be a sham, but I don't think so. I think Hodor is a lot more serious. I'm going to miss him. And so for those that joined late, I don't know if you guys are aware, but yeah, Hodor is leaving our community. He is stepping down as master blogger. And I just included a link to his Coil article that talks about this, but he is leaving us. He is going to be coming out with his true name, not the symbol formerly known as Prince, but his real name. And I don't know if he's going to say, my name is John Doe and I was formerly Hodor. I doubt it. I really don't think we're going to know who he is. He's just going to slip into the community and all of a sudden be this person with vast amounts of information. And so keep your eyes open. If you guys see anybody that sneaks in and knows a lot of stuff, definitely let me know, because I want to stalk them. So I think that brings us to the end of the live stream. Definitely my favorite place to be on Monday morning. And I got some feedback on Twitter. Somebody was like, I was talking to somebody and they're like, I can tell you're not excited. You guys don't know how excited I am. Just because I've grown comfortable into doing this, which was the original goal, doesn't mean I'm not excited. I am excited. I actually can find more words on a Monday morning than I could before. And I have really come to understand the types of things that I want to talk about. And I think found my groove with all of this. So don't doubt it. Just know it. This is where I enjoy being with you guys. I enjoy doing the XRP community update. There is a lot of great news that's going on in our community, and a lot of people cover that. But few people actually look at the people that are making a difference in our community, and that is what I would like to focus on. I am really scared about Hodor being gone. I think it's going to create a vacuum effect, because the amount of content that he would share and how people would feed off that, right? Yeah, I think we're going to have a big gap. I think he overestimates how many people are doing deep dives in this community, because a deep dive of Hodor's blog will get you far. So if you've never followed Hodor, definitely go and check out a lot of his information, because there's good information past, present, and future. And yeah, I think with that, we're going to bring this to an end. Bring it to an end. Bring it in, cowboy. Yes. So Fantastic, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have an amazing week. Go out and do something great. Go out and do the crypto crawl. You'll have fun. You will, do something that you can share with us. You can wear a mask. But if you choose not to do that, go out and do something that inspires you to be your best self. Now, that could be a bath, right? Running yourself an amazing bath. It could be going to the gym. It could be writing something, whatever. Live an inspired life. It keeps you young, keeps you mentally fit, and makes you smile. And nothing is more important than a smile, because with a smile and some inspiration, you can do great things. So on that note, let me leave you alone and send you on your way. Curtis, thank you so much for your compliment. Patagonitas Crypto, fantastic. Thank you for being here this morning. And Tyson Bailey, always enjoy having you, Pre-Pro Tech, and everybody else. With that, I am up, gonna go have another sip of coffee and get to work. Have a great week. Lots of love and blessings. Until then, bye. Oh, I can't push that button. I have to push the other one. You know who will be yelling at me? Yeah, Calvin Knight. Calvin will yell at me. You ended it too fast. I appreciate the feedback though. All right, guys. Bye.